do. You keep going. That's what we need to do.
Another week again, the not guaranteed. Keep punching him in the face. DeMarcus. Don't get satisfied. Let's go.
The AT&T Stadium crowd is making a lot of noise.
Here I hope for the same thing.
It is a spectacle, this place.
Come on, take the ball away, dude.
Let's go now.
Cowboys on 3. Make it loud. 1, 2, 3.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys have made a position change. They cut kicker Brett Maher and have signed veteran kicker Kai Forbath. Welcome in to Cowboys Flashback. I'm Dani Sureck. In Thursday's loss to the Bears, Maher missed a 42-yard field goal, his 10th miss of the year, the most in the league. He finished 20 of 30 in field goals and just 1 of 5 from the 40 to 49-yard range. Prior to that Thursday game, the Cowboys brought in 3 kickers, however, decided to stay with Maher. However, as of Monday, that decision changed. Forbath is somewhat familiar with the Cowboys. He spent 2011 with the team at training camp and ended up losing that position battle to Dan Bailey. He was most recently with the Patriots, and in the one game Forbath kicked in, he made a 23-yard field goal, however, was 1 of 2 in extra points. Let's hear how the break broke down this position change.
Now, moving on, how do we feel about this decision that the Cowboys just made?
You know, I said this earlier and you weren't here. I talked about the Nick Folk thing 10 years ago when he was a good kicker but just went into a rut. They had to make a change. He's still kicking now. He's 10 years later. Like, it happens. Maher will still be in the mix. He'll have 2 or 3 tryouts probably in the next few weeks. But I just think for what this team, they just needed a different guy. Get your 2-point plays ready, though. I don't know. He can't make extra points. Maybe that's the issue. But it's just going to have a different set of problems. He has struggled as extra points, Forbath. He's a better kicker in the 30-40 range. I don't know why. It's almost the same kick.
At this point, it's just one of those things of don't keep doing the same thing expecting different results, right? So you got to change it up. And if this next guy does the exact same thing, then you'll have to change up again. Right now, you're chasing a kicker because it's holding you hostage, as Bill Parcells used to say. And there's no way to get out of that in the middle of a season other than just changing the face and hoping that the guy gets on a string of made kicks.
I think kicker's just weird. I got into that argument when Bailey was kicking in a game like right after Maher had struggled, and everybody was like, "Oh, they made a mistake. They're dumb. They let Bailey go." And I don't even believe that to this day. Like, it's such a mental thing, and it affects you in a way that has nothing to do with what's actually happening on the field. Maybe he would never admit this, but I'm sure it's probably terrible for Brett Maher, like, just wandering around the facility and people are kind of looking at you out of the side, giving you the side eye.
No, I was.
It's in your head. Of course. Everybody is. Yeah. And I just think a change of scenery is necessary in those situations. And maybe Brett Maher will go kick ass for somebody else, but the environment here was hindering him.
I'm just laughing because people don't even think I just tweeted it out, and they're like, "Is this real?" And that someone just tweeted out like a animated GIF of something that just said "Sleep well, Maher," like it was head hitting a pillow, which is what he said the other night. And you know what? That really pissed me off. I thought that was cuttable right there.
Forbath was not one of the 3 kickers who tried out last week ahead of the Chicago game. He only tried out Monday morning. Maher's performance in Thursday night's game wasn't the reason the Cowboys lost. Dallas struggled in all 3 phases of the game. Next, we'll hear from Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones and his thoughts about his team's performance.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Rico's products make every game a home game with Rico's. Cigna, together all the way. And by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
Here's 2nd down 7. Montgomery, the running back, under center. Trubisky, play fake, boot to the left. Standing and looking in the end zone. Throw to the left side, intercepted.
Cornerback Jordan Lewis intercepted quarterback Mitch Trubisky right at the goal line for his 2nd pick of the year. Lewis says the one positive from such a frustrating loss is that the Cowboys still lead the division, even at 6-7. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones agrees and says as long as you find a way into the playoffs, you're still there. Jones says, however, the team needs to find a way to get back to winning games. Dallas is now on their 2nd 3-game losing streak of the year. Jones says he knows they have the talent on this roster to get the job done. they just can't seem to find a way to do so.
That score didn't indicate how bad they beat us tonight. The score was a lot closer. They beat us real good tonight.
Jerry, would a 7-9 or 8-8 division win, would that be acceptable?
A what?
A 7-9 or 8-8 division win, would that be acceptable?
Are you asking me if I would take the division and go to the playoffs if we got it? On any basis, the answer is yes. Absolutely, yes. Acceptable? I don't know, not if we're not playing good. But if we're playing a lot better than we played tonight, I'll take getting in. You talking about getting in the playoffs? Well, yes, I would, on any basis. I realize if we don't play better and look better in the last game than we look tonight, then that's tough to think about having success in the playoffs. But you know, your goal is, the first goal is to get to the playoffs.
Are you questioning the talent on this team or the mental makeup? I mean,
I didn't hear that. When I'm saying I'll question.
No, I'm asking you, do you, at this point, the way this team is playing, with so much on the line and they're not able to respond, do you question the talent or the mental makeup right now?
I don't think so. I don't think so. All these guys are mentally okay for me.
Okay.
And all these guys are talented enough for me. So that's good. I'm questioning how to put together a coordinated one that complements each other, how to put together a team that can win a football game. And so it's obvious, you know, that we are not putting together collectively on all phases of the game as well as within the same phase of the game. We're not collectively getting together as a team and doing the things it takes to win a ball game. You don't win games if you don't do that. And, they did a good job.
That's a question of the coaching then.
Do you feel like at any point these guys quit out there tonight, or do you feel like they all gave maximum effort?
Again, I know that everyone is disappointed with the outcome. We all thought that we could come up here and play a good football game. We didn't. It is imperative for us to, as we go down toward the playoffs, it's imperative that we play a good football game. I thought tonight we would come up here and play a good football game. I think everybody did. And we didn't. They did play a good football game. And so that's the way it goes.
In his weekly scheduled interview with 105.3 The Fan, Jones got a little testy when the radio host asked if the organization was embarrassed by how the Cowboys have played as of late. Jones says he's not embarrassed, just frustrated with what he's seen from the Cowboys recently. Jones says he still believes that they can right the ship because he's seen it happen with teams in the past. Quarterback Dak Prescott agrees with Jones. We'll hear more from QB1 right after the break.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. It was a hopeful beginning to Thursday's game for the Cowboys, who for just the third time this year scored on their opening drive and did so with 17 plays for an early 7-0 lead. However, wouldn't put points on the board again until the fourth quarter. All year, Dallas has had a difficult time matching up against top 10 ranked defenses. Their latest nemesis, the Chicago Bears. Dallas converted just 40% of their third downs. And while quarterback Dak Prescott didn't have his best performance, he was 27 of 49, some of those struggles fall on his receivers. There was miscommunication, dropped passes, which has been a reoccurring issue all season. Prescott says the team needs to find a way to put themselves up for better success on those third downs. He still believes this team can right the ship.
It is. I mean, the confidence hasn't wavered, but we've got to figure it out. The thing that gives us confidence is the players, the skill level that we have, the way that I see guys prepare, the way that guys go about their business each and every day. But we've got to figure out what it is on game day to flip the switch and get the job done. No excuses.
Is that the frustrating part, just trying to figure this out?
Very, very. Can't put a finger on it. I wish I could right now. If I could, obviously we wouldn't be in this situation. We'd be getting over this and out of this slump. But that's the most frustrating part is we have the skill level, we have the players, we have the chemistry at times, but we're not playing together as a team complementary enough when we need to, and we've got to figure out what it is.
What would you describe the mood like right now with you guys?
Frustrating. I think that's the best word for it. It's a blessing, fortunate enough. I don't know how it is. We're still in the lead for our division. you have to be thankful for that. But we can't hang our hat on that. We've got to figure out our issues right now, fix them, and get better.
What are your issues?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what I just said. It's not a through the week thing. It's putting it together on game day, putting all the pieces together, playing well, complementary, and we haven't been able to do that on game day. Maybe in these next few days. I mean, I know myself. I know I will. The coaches will study it and try to figure it out and try to put our finger on it and move forward and come up with a plan to get better and win some of these games here finishing the season.
I apologize if you were asked this earlier, but after that first drive,
yeah.
Did they do anything differently, or was it just you guys not?
Yeah, no, they didn't. I mean, we just didn't convert our third down. Simple as that. 2 3-and-outs, then we get a long drive going again and missed that third down conversion, and it cost us points. And at that point, they're converting their third downs, and they're getting a field goal. They get a touchdown at the end of the half, and we put ourselves behind. And as I said earlier, it's hard. It's been tough for us to play from behind.
Coach said that perhaps the guys are pressing too hard, trying to do too much. Do you see that?
I don't necessarily. I mean, I've got to go back on film and see starting with myself, obviously. Am I pressing? Am I pressing at times? Am I trying to do too much when we get behind? And that's something that I'll figure out, something I'll evaluate over these next couple of days and plan to figure it out and work it out and get better.
Prescott said he was going to use these few days off to reevaluate his play and how, as a leader, he can lead this team to a win. Don't go anywhere. Next, we'll hear from more Cowboys players on how they can change the narrative.
Good morning. Look, say hi to everybody. Good morning.
Hey, Carson.
Say hi.
Merry Christmas, buddy. There's a lot of toys in there, man.
No,
I'm Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Big fan of yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all.
Yeah, man, thank you. Sit right here, bro. What's your name? Zeke, nice to meet you.
On Monday morning, the Dallas Cowboys gave back to the community by visiting local children's hospitals in and around the DFW Metroplex, where they got to spend time with some of their smallest fans and bring holiday cheer to their families. It's a good reminder of what's important in life as the Cowboys finished having a few days off and get back to football, preparing for the Los Angeles Rams. Dallas has now finished the part of their schedule where they played 5 games in 25 days. The back end of that was rough for Dallas. They are now on their second 3-game losing streak of the season. Running back EZEKIEL Elliott says what's frustrating about these losses is he can't put his finger on what the problem is. He says all he knows is that the Cowboys simply need to get back to playing good football.
Just going out there getting outplayed. Too good of a football team to be putting that on film. I mean, we got to figure out what we want the season to be. I mean, we still have hope. You know, we still can get in the playoffs, but you know, just the way we've been playing, it's not going to really get us far.
We've been saying for months that we're still a good football team, even a great football team. Do you start to question that a little bit?
No, I don't question the men we have in this room, in this locker room at all. We got to find a way to go out there and play better football.
Does this feel like it's going backwards a little bit, though?
I don't know if I can say that. I just know we got 3 games left. 3 games? Yeah. Still in first place in the division. We got to figure something out in these next 3 weeks.
I feel like you put good work in. I mean, it's the NFL. You know, I mean, you better bring him. That's a good defense. Colomac's a good player. They got good players across the board. Chuck's been a good coordinator for a long time. They stopped the run. They put a lot of guys in there. And they challenge you in the outside and coverage. And we just didn't do well enough. I mean, we had a good first drive, and just we didn't sustain it. It was not good enough football.
I haven't seen this demonstrative on the sidelines in a while.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the game? You know, I mean, you're just trying to get something going. You know, played a lot of football. I realize this opportunity is rare for all of us. You know, to be sitting here 13 weeks in and still have a chance to win this division. You know, I mean, just trying to get it going. You know, get the guys going. I believe in this group. I believe in this team wholeheartedly. I mean, it's a good group of guys that they're talented, work hard, and do all that stuff. But I mean, you know, it's a show me game. and it has been for a long time. We got to play better football. And you know, we talk about we have the right guys and we do all that, but it's got to show up, and it didn't tonight consistently enough. But I mean, all the things that you look for, battling and the right type, all that. I mean, we have that. You know, I thought Dak continues to battle. He's done that since he's been here, and your quarterback does that. Your key leaders do that. I think it's easy for everybody to get on board, but we got to get it fixed, and we will. We will.
What's your source of greatest frustration right now?
Well, I just think we get bogged down offensively. You know, I mean, we had the good drive early, and then you bog down. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, I mean, consistency. You know, everybody talks about playing 60-minute games. I mean, that's really the key. I mean, you have that good drive, whatever it was, 17 plays. We're really in control, both run and pass, and then, you know, you come out and next thing you know, you're 17-7. You know, where you're not able to kind of score points and move the ball and get the touchdown. So I think that's kind of similar to last week in the Buffalo game where you went down and scored and then kind of bogged down. So it's just we got to play better as players.
Witten says this team hasn't found consistency and they haven't played a full 60 minutes of good football. He says this offense just keeps getting bogged down by defenses. This week won't be much easier when the Los Angeles Rams, another top 10 ranked defense, comes to town. However, before we get into the preparation of the Rams game, right after this, we'll get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look of Thursday's game from the viewpoint of the players. Each week, Sounds from the Sideline highlights the game from the unique perspective of the players. Although Thursday's game was not the outcome Dallas was hoping for, you can still see how badly this team wants to win and how much they still care about one another. Let's check out Sounds from the Sideline.
We're in a place where one of the greatest football players that ever played on this grass. He was a running back. If anybody's carried the rock before, he's a part of us. On the one way to do it, man, go out there and just kick some ass. Can we say ass? Can we say kick some ass? All right. We're down a soldier, but it doesn't really matter. You two are built for this. We just got to go out and play. It's time for us to put this team on our back. We got the best D tackles in the league. We got the best coach in the league. We got the best ends in the league. Now it's time for us to put that on paper.
Down handoff, Elliott coming through the right side into the secondary. 50-45, broke a tackle. He gives it to Elliott, banging at left guard. Touchdown.
Hydration, I'll run your feet if you want me to. Your game is all night long. All day. Good night. All day. You guys did an excellent job protecting. Hey, we're going to run the ball. Don't worry.
Standing and looking in the end zone. Throwing to the left side, intercepted. If his feet were in bounds, were they out of bounds?
Yeah, they called him out of bounds.
I thought you had that. I said we got it. I said we got it. Hey, be ready. Great job, baby. Great job, up there. They don't know where we from.
Trubisky back looking, throws the ball down the seam. It's caught by Holtz. Second down and goal. Back to throw into the end zone. Wide open to the post. PRESCOTT and winged to the left, incompleted.
You have nothing to isolate this defender, okay? So you got to go scat and pull him, because if you don't, it should have been picked.
First pass and a read option. Trubisky rolling to his right. Cox keeps, runs for the stick. Trubisky back to throw, standing, throws it in the end zone. Unbelievable. The ball is caught for a touchdown.
Every time, we got to say the same thing. Talk about kicking our own ass.
Quick flare in the right flat, and Miller just runs right through everybody, untouched.
Come on, y'all! We're better than that! You're better than that! You're better than that! You're better than that!
We want to win.
Trubisky in the gun, inside, handoff fake, he keeps it, runs left, makes a horrible fake, runs dashing into the end zone, touchdown. This was just an undressing.
But all is not lost. Again, everything, nobody wants to hear it, but everything's still in front of them.
The Cowboys get back to having a regular schedule with Sunday game days starting this Sunday when they host the 8-5 Los Angeles Rams at AT&T Stadium. It'll be a rematch of the 2018 divisional round playoff game where the Rams ran all over the Cowboys. You can stay up to date on all team news about how they are preparing for the Rams, the kicker change, and much more on DallasCowboys.com. That's Cowboys Flashback. Until next time, I'm Dani Sureck.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T. Academy, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Reliant, an NRG company. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.